What's up, YouTube? I want to show you guys some of my favorite holsters. So every single holster you see here, I believe you can find under $100 as far as I can remember. So obviously, this being a small channel and myself being a normal person, I don't have disposable income to spend on a whole bunch of stuff. And holsters are one of those things, right? Now, you want to get good holsters, but again, I can't break the bank on every single holster I buy. So I usually try to keep it under $100 on each holster. I have purchased holsters in the past that are more than that, and honestly, I haven't been all that impressed. For example, I got a T-Rex Arms, I forget if it was the sidecar or the other one. I didn't really care for it all that much. Doesn't have anything to do with all the T-Rex Arms drama and everything. Has nothing to do with that. I just really didn't like the holster that much. To me, it was a little bit overbuilt, which, in other words, what I'm saying is it was bulky. It felt bulky inside the waistband. So these other holsters, I tend to like them better. So the first one that I'm going to go with, that I'll show you, is really cheap and really common. This is the Pegasus Slim Tuck made by DeSantis. Okay. DeSantis is one of my favorite holster companies, and this is my Glock 45. This also fits a Glock 19, but these holsters are great. Okay, they're Kydex. They're pretty good quality from what I can tell. They have, you can I think you can adjust this so that you can have it stay put if you'd like to. Me personally, I like to be able to cant it, every direction, kind of on the fly, so I can adjust it, depending on how it fits my outfit, right, for that day. Has a retention screw there. This screw controls the clip. And one thing I did do is, if you look at my other DeSantis one here, the other same holster, you can adjust the ride height of this holster. You can, if you put this screw in this hole, right, the clip will come down further, making the gun ride up a little bit higher. This way I have it here makes it sit down inside the pants a little bit further, so I found that it's easier to conceal this way. But anyways, if you do that, if you put this screw in this hole, okay, like if you move this clip down, the problem I've found with that is this piece right here will stick out to right about there where my finger is, okay, and that always digs in. So what I did on this holster is I just took my Leatherman, I think, and I cut it with the bolt cutters or whatever, not bolt cutters, the wire cutters, and hi Buster. So I cut it with the wire cutters or whatever, and then filed it down around the corners to smooth it out so that it wouldn't be hitting myself all the time, digging into my side or into my pants with that. So really like those holsters. Had to do a little bit of small modification just to fit myself. But I believe they all fit MOS versions, right? Because if you look here, it fits all the way down, or I'm sorry, like the holster doesn't come up all the way. It stays all the way down here. So as far as I can tell, I believe every single model of this will fit pretty much most MOS versions, which is nice, being that most modern pistols come with that capability now. I run iron sights, so that doesn't really bother me, but I really like the Slim Tuck there by DeSantis. And here I have it in my Ruger LCP Max, and what I really like about this particular one is I can carry this gun because it's so small. A lot of times, sorry for the shaky camera, it's a little windy out here, and the cat is on the truck, so amateur operation here. So anyways, this gun is so lightweight that I can carry it easily with a pair of gym shorts or sweatpants. So a lot of times in the summertime, I don't want to wear a real belt, so I can actually clip this onto my gym shorts, and as long as I pull the drawstring tight enough, you can see this like hook right here that usually will latch on to your drawstring as you pull the gun up out of the holster, and it'll keep the holster still there. So I like that I can carry those ones with a pair of gym shorts. I don't usually carry the Glock 45 with that because it's just too heavy. But the other way, pretty good. Those holsters, I don't want to say exactly how much they are. I forget. I'll put the link on Amazon to a bunch of these holsters, my affiliate links. So check there in the description, and I'll link those down below. But those are very minimalist, right? I don't care for holsters that have 2 clips on them. I don't care for holsters that have a wedge and all this and all that. I don't need all that stuff. I personally like it to just be as slim as possible. And that's why the Slim Tuck, go figure, fits in perfectly. Now, my other favorite inside the waistband holster I've found lately is the Vetter Light Tuck. Okay, I believe I got this for under $100 as well. These ones are way under $100, but I think these ones are maybe 70 or 80 bucks as well. Vetter Light Tuck, it's just, this is a very simple Kydex holster, okay? Probably a little bit higher quality Kydex than the DeSantis, but, you know, you're paying a little bit more money for it. Retention screw there. This one, you can also adjust the cant right there, okay? It's a little bit more difficult, which is good. Sometimes these ones are a little bit too loose. You have to tighten them up, but this one stays pretty tight. And you can adjust the angle that you want to be carrying that gun. And so I really like these, and I believe they may, this clip here is called the monoblock, I believe. And a Vetter sells other clips that you can put on that holster, I believe. I want to say one of them is called like the Alta clip. I need to check it out because I believe that one is a little bit more like this, where you can you know, hook it onto gym shorts and stuff like that. So this is my Glock 29 Gen 5, and I can carry this gun inside the waistband no problem. This is a very, not very, but pretty heavy gun compared to most people's EDC or CCW. And this holster has no problem, you know, distributing the weight a little bit. So I have no complaints about this one. Again, I personally like the more minimalist design. It's absolutely fine if you like the ones with multiple clips on them and whatnot, but me personally, I just like to go with the more minimalist stuff. Okay, so those are my favorite 2 inside the waistband holsters, and honestly, I have tried even some like really cheap ones on Amazon. I believe one was called like BBF Make or something like that. Honestly, they're not too bad. If you just, you know, if you're on a really tight budget, if you go on Amazon, you can honestly find some decent Kydex options for less than 30 bucks, which you should spend good money on holster, or at least get a good holster. But again, you know, it's the real world. I get it. People are on a tight budget, all that good stuff. So let's talk about outside the waistband holsters. Now, my first and most favorite is this one right here. This carries my Glock 20. This is the Safariland 6378. Okay, and this particular holster comes with either an option for a belt loop or a paddle. Now, I used to hate paddle holsters. I thought they were the dumbest thing on earth. Now, to be honest, I love them. What's really nice about them is I can carry this like with a good belt, or as you can see, I'll try to show you right now. I've just got my pair of Arrowhead tactical pants on here. And I can clip that gun on these pants, and it's on there pretty good. I've honestly even clipped this on a pair of gym shorts before, late at night one time when I needed to go outside, and it did the job. Now, you wouldn't want to go running like that, okay? But if you have a good belt on, like with these Arrowhead tactical sweatpants, or a good leather belt, that holster, any paddle holster really, will clip onto your pants really good. And what I love about that is I can take them on and off really easy. And for me, that's a big deal because I change clothes a lot. My wife always yells at me, but I change clothes a couple times a day a lot of times. So being able to switch this holster from one pair of pants to the next, very important for me. This one has the locking mechanism right there. I think it's called, Safariland calls it their ALS, automatic locking system. Okay, you can see how it works right there. Yeah, and this gun has a light on it. It has a TLR1 on it. And so it does a pretty good job. Now, as you can see here, the trigger guard is open a little bit, which is something you have to be mindful of. when you put a big light like that on your gun. Now, that's why I like carrying Glocks, because they at least have the trigger safety. So even if I were to put my finger in there, which you can see, I can put my finger in there and I can almost touch the trigger, but all I'm touching is the side of the trigger right here, right? So I can't get to the actual blade of the trigger, okay? So I really like that holster. Again, if you didn't have that light on there, you wouldn't have that issue of being able to put the, you know, your finger into the trigger guard at all, okay? So for some people, that might be too wide for you. But again, carrying a Glock, I don't have to really worry about it too much, because the trigger safety mechanism is keeping your finger off of it, or keeping it from being pulled, okay? But you can see it has suede on the inside, so it doesn't scratch up your gun. That really doesn't matter to me at all. As you can see, this gun's not perfect anyways, but that, you know, my guns are not pretty. They are used. Okay, another paddle holster I've come to like, and I just got this one just to try out because I wasn't really sure if I'd like it, for the Glock 29, is this Blackhawk CQC holster. This is a pretty cheap one as well. I think this one, I think I got it on sale for like 20 or 30 bucks. Yeah, it's a paddle holster. Same deal. This one's got clips here so that it keeps your belt from, it hooks onto your belt whenever you pull up on the gun. It also had a clip right here. I actually filed that one down because I don't think it was necessary at all. Guys, I've ran with this, literally I've jogged with this gun on my hip the way it is, and it's never had an issue. This clip right here just made it really hard for me to take the holster on and in and out of my pants. So I just ended up filing that down. I didn't see that it was necessary. So some people will complain with these Sarpa holsters about the button being right next to the trigger guard. So they're worried that, and I'm just demonstrating here, everything is in a safe direction, but you know, whenever you pull the gun out, that you might accidentally drop your finger on the trigger if you were in a high stress situation. To that, I would say all you have to do is train a little bit, and you know, never put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to fire. It's plain and simple. Now, with that being said, I could see their complaints there. If that's a safety issue to you, then, you know, don't get it. But to me, all you have to do is be mindful every single time. I've never once put my finger on the trigger, okay? As I'm trying to watch this through the camera. So I like that one, really cheap. That fits my Glock 29. I just figured this out the other day. I wouldn't carry it like this, but it also fits my Glock 45. It's pretty loose, but you did hear a click there, so it is in there. So I guess if I was on the range, you know, maybe I could use it just as kind of a range holster, but generally speaking, I won't do that. I won't use a holster unless the gun is specifically made for it. So yeah, really like this one. This one, it rides up pretty high and stays fairly close to your body, so it is a little bit more concealable, which is nice. So that's what I like about that one. Okay, now outside the waistband concealed carry holsters, these are one of my favorites right here. This is again a DeSantis holster. This is the DeSantis thumb brake. Okay, so this one is for my 45 and 19. I have both. I just don't have the 19 out here today. And yeah, that's how that looks right there. You put it through this belt loop, you put a belt through that loop and this one, and the gun will kind of stay canted like that. You can put it through this one and the bottom one, and then the gun sits more straight up, which I do not care for putting it through that one, so I never do that. I always put it through these two. Holds it really good. The gun is very secure in there, as you can see. Okay, you have to break, that's why it's called a thumb brake. You have to break the button in order to get it open. So you have to put your thumb on the back of the gun at the top, break it, and then pull up. Okay, I've found that it's very important to wear a stiff belt with these ones right here. All of them, generally speaking, a stiff belt will help a lot more, but with these outside the waistband holsters, from DeSantis. These thumb brakes, very important to have a sturdy belt. This one is for my classic Smith & Wesson revolver. Didn't bring the gun out for this video, but it's the same exact thing. As you can see there, it has the thumb brake. To me, this is a very classy looking holster as well, whereas this one's just black, but I really didn't care because it's just for my Glock 45, okay? Then I'll show you this guy. This is another DeSantis. I believe this one's called either the Mini Scabbard or the Speed Scabbard. I don't recall. I'll put the link down in the description. But this one's just a simple, basically level 1 retention holster that all it does is hold the gun in there. This one is for my 45 and 19. Okay. And I do like this one really for when I'm around the house. I'm not too worried about anybody coming up behind me and pulling the gun out of my pocket or out of my holster. You know, you can adjust the retention right here. You can tighten it down pretty good. But generally speaking, what I'll do is I will carry this with a shirt over top of it. You know, my t-shirt or flannel or hoodie or whatever over top of this, so that nobody can see it and so that it gives that gun a little bit more protection. So this is, I would not recommend, first of all, I don't highly recommend open carrying in the first place, but I would really not recommend open carrying with a holster like this that doesn't really have any other retention. This is, again, mainly for around my house, which is in a very rural area. I don't have to worry about people sneaking up on behind me like that. Or again, you could put a t-shirt over top of it, and that will help as well. I actually have one of these for my LCP Max too, and that's really nice because you put that thing outside the waistband in an LCP Max, you literally forget the gun is there. So if I am working around the house, like we remodeled our house recently, and when we were doing that, I always carried my little mini Speed Scabbard with the LCP in that outside the waistband, and I literally, like I said, it was like I wasn't even carrying anything. And then the final one that I'll show you, this is an interesting one. I might do a whole separate video on this. This is an Amazon purchase. You probably know this is a tanker model holster from World War II, right? Or maybe World War I, depending on, you know, the different types of models and stuff. This one is just a reproduction. I believe it's literally made in India. Okay, somewhere like that, somewhere overseas, and it was about 20 bucks, I think, maybe 30. And this holster here is made for a 1911, okay, but it will fit many, many different guns, okay. I've found that pretty much any autoloader will fit in there, okay. This is my Glock 45, so a 19 or a 17 would fit in there perfectly fine, or any other kind of full-size Glock for the most part. My Glock 20, right now it doesn't fit in there just because I have the light on it, but if I were to take the light off, it will fit in there just the same as the 45, okay? The Glock 29 also fits in there, okay? And it has that buckle there, which, again, this is to carry a 1911, but if it works, it works. Now, this is a holster. You might be wondering, like, what the heck would you even use this for? I am not walking around town, guys, with a World War II tanker holster on, although that might be kind of a vibe. I don't do that, and I wouldn't prefer to carry that way. But what I do with this one is, as you can see here, it is made to wear around your shoulder, around your chest. So I will sling this around my shoulder, and I don't have to attach it to anything. And what's really nice about that is if I am walking out the door and I'm wearing gym shorts and a t-shirt or whatever, or literally this, I say this would be like not too bad of an idea for home defense, because literally you could be in your underwear with nothing on, and you could throw this over your shoulder, and you at least have some sort of holster to put your gun into if you need to go hands free, or I guess, you know, have both hands free. Okay. So that's really nice. In this loop here, it comes with another strap that actually attaches down here. So you can wear it more like a, like a chest rig, which is more secure. But what I usually do is, like I said, I just kind of sling it over my shoulder. And a lot of times if I'm wearing a belt, I'll take this loop down here and attach it to the belt, and then it's very secure. Okay, but even if I'm not wearing a belt, I can still put it over my shoulder. Now, it's a little bit sloppy. It moves around a little bit, okay? But again, it's not like a primary carry option. It's not something I'm going to walk 10 miles with. It's just like if I'm walking out to check the mailbox and I want to throw a gun on, I can carry it in this thing. And yeah, the draw is not going to be very fast either, okay? But again, it's just the idea that you can carry with it, and at least you have something. And that holster is really nice. Like I said, pretty cheap on Amazon, but it's good that it's universal. All right, guys, so those are pretty much all my favorite holsters. Just to recap, my favorite inside the waistband holsters, DeSantis Slim Tuck or Vetter Light Tuck. Okay, my favorite outside the waistband holsters, Safariland paddle holster or a Blackhawk Serpa holster if you're on a tight budget. Also, I couldn't find very many holsters to fit the 29, or else I would have bought the Safariland. And then the DeSantis thumb brakes, and then the old, reliable 100-year-old tanker model shoulder holster. So, one holster. All right, I almost forgot one of my most important and favorite holsters, and that is the Kenai chest rig made by Gunfighters Inc. Now, I do believe this gun or this holster will cost you more than $100, but it is probably about the only one I still own that's over $100, and it is very, very worth it. Okay, this is my Glock 20. Now, I had to take the light off. As you can see, that one has pretty tight retention. Had to take the light off because I just don't have the holster mold for the one with the light. They do make one, I think, with light. But anyways, this is a really good chest rig. This literally will sit like right on your chest. Okay. And you have your left arm goes through here. And then you would wrap this buckle around your like basically around your stomach area and clip it in over here. And maybe sometime if this video does well, I can demonstrate this stuff for you. But again, that one is very tight retention, but that's good because I carry this in the woods. When I'm fishing, I've carried it backpacking out in Montana and that kind of thing. And this is another one I've realized that my, because that retention's so tight, actually, my 45 fits in there just fine too. Okay, so yeah, if you guys are looking for a really good woods carry chest rig, the Kenai chest rig by Gunfighters Inc., that is a very good option. All right, guys, so let me know what you think about this video. If you like it, drop a comment down below. If you have any questions about any of these holsters, any suggestions, if you have any criticisms, go ahead and drop them down there. I can take it. I have tough skin. So, as always, if you enjoy this video, like and subscribe, and keep blasting.